You are enjoying your personal expansion and what you provide for all of us. You are eager to be out here on this leading edge. Leading or bleeding. Does the leading edge always bleed? Pretty much. A little. Because when you're reaching into new places, you are having new experiences. And initially, a new experience can cause some insecurity. Because the things that you feel secure about are not very dynamic. They're sort of manifestational results of previous contrast. And once you get the contrast all sort of figured out and things start fitting into place for you, and you begin feeling that feeling of security or contentment, soon after, or right in the middle of that, often more contrast appears, and you have to be wondering, what's up with that? Will I ever get to the place of constant, steady security or contentment? And we lovingly say no, because you are leading edge creators. You said, I will go forth into a time-space reality and mix it up with others and give birth to constant new awarenesses of preference. And you just can't continue to give birth to new without needing then to move in the direction of the new that you've given birth to. That really is as simple as we can say it. Life is going to cause you to expand, and you must keep up with your expansion. And in the interim, there is the potential of insecurity. There's the potential of uneasiness. There's the potential of that leading edge to feel like it's bleeding just a little bit. But after a while, you become wise enough, don't you, to know that it always turns out all right, don't you? After a while, don't you figure it out that even though there may be moments of unsteadiness, that it will come back into balance for you once you figure out how to align with what you want? It's only in the discord in your own vibration that you ever feel unsteady. So the question that we want to put to you, it's really what this conversation is all about, is how can I experience continual expansion without feeling unsteady in that interim, in that time between having given birth to a new desire and figuring out how to come into alignment with it? And we can give you a very clear answer. We can tell you exactly what's causing you more consternation than is necessary. You don't want to settle down and feel good until manifestations begin occurring. In other words, I know what I want, and when it comes, I will feel better. And we know for sure that's true. You do know what you want, and you will feel better when it comes. But why not feel better while it's coming? And many of you say, well, if I knew for sure it was coming, then I might be willing to feel better. I'm willing to feel better if I know for sure it's coming. And we say, who are you holding hostage in this? Who is it that you're offering your threat to? Well, you did it to your mother for a long time. If you give me that, then I'll be good. But if you aren't good to me, I won't be good to you. It didn't work out well with her, did it? And we think there's some of that still stuck in your vibrational craw. You're still wanting to hold someone else hostage for the way you feel. But when you figure it out that it's only you who feels the discord of not going along with your own good ideas, then everything becomes easier for you. And instead of feeling unsteady or insecure, you feel eager about the adventure that is unfolding. You feel confident. When you go on vacation, do you really want to plan everything about it? Some of you do. You get really carried away with it. Your itineraries are quite complete. But what about that time when you just go with the flow? What about that? What about that time when you just follow your own inspirational lead? What about that? And today we're going to put it into different terminology. We're going to say, what about that time when you have established a very strong, clear, emotional basis of what you want? You know how you want to feel, and you've been practicing the feeling place of it. You've found the vibrational grid of it. And then as that grid begins to fill in with impulses and manifestations, then you begin to understand how your life is supposed to work for you. It's supposed to be good every step of the way. And it can be good even when you're experiencing contrast, if you understand that it's all just part of the process. When you get out on the road or even into an aircraft and you're on your way on something that you consider to be a fairly long journey, do you just naturally freak out in the first 5 minutes because you're not there? Do you lie there in total discord because you're not where you want to be? Or do you accept that there is a process to the journey? Esther remembers it was the first cruise that Tracy and David and Kate and Luke were taking with Jerry and Esther and the Abraham group. And it was a long one. They were going to Hawaii. So it was 4 days across the open sea. Didn't see anybody along the way except a few birds, and what were they doing out there anyway? And the first night the seas were rough. Esther had never been on rough seas before, and she had promised Tracy they wouldn't be rough. But she had lied. And the seas were very rough, and Esther went into their cabin, and on the television was a map of where they were going. And it was a very big screen with a very long route. Depends on which navigational system you're listening to. And they were only this far. And there was this much further to go. And the seas were rough. And Tracy was saying, "Oh my God, what have I done?" And Esther thought, that's the only time I've ever seen anyone upset at the beginning of a journey. At the beginning of potentially the most delicious, glorious trip of a lifetime. But taking score too soon, right at the beginning. A little rough seas and not where I want to be. And sometimes that's what you do. Your life has carved out for you so much that you want, and you stand at what you think is the beginning place, freaking out at what you think is the uncomfortable distance between where you are and where you want to be. And we want you to understand that if you can get your thoughts around this vibrational world that you live in, if you can accept that you are a vibrational being and it's all about vibration, if you can understand that your discord that you feel, that is what negative emotion is always, every single time, only about one thing. And that is, your life has produced a desire within you that your current belief is not matching. Your current belief, which is just a thought that you are currently thinking, and we call it a belief, or you do, because it's a thought that you've been thinking long enough that it's an easy thought to think. In fact, it's the easiest thought to think under these conditions because you've practiced it so well. Not because it's true. Oh, well, you are making it true. But it's not an easy thought to think because it's true. It's an easy thought to think because you've practiced it. And when you practice it, you develop a vibrational propensity. And law of attraction, who is your best friend and your worst friend, your best friend, because it's consistent. Your best friend and your worst friend, your best friend, because it's consistent. But law of attraction will bring to your belief or to your practiced vibration exactly what matches it. So you've got this desire with an opposing practiced belief. A lot of people do. They want abundance and don't believe it for a minute. Or they want world peace and don't believe it for a minute. Because they keep looking for evidence that supports the belief that opposes their desire. And you call that facing reality. We call it insanity. Why would you practice a vibration which causes a point of attraction, which brings to you evidence of something you do not want? And you say, or at least Esther has said to us many times, because it's true. And we wanted to help her, and you understand that things are only true because you make them true. And they're only true because you practice the vibration of them. And it's hard for you to accept that because you, if you are like most people, are running around looking at manifestational evidence of truth, 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 truth. You gather your statistics, you log them carefully, you make historical records of them, and you carry them from generation to generation. And you practice vibrations of things you do not want, and then you call it true, and we call it creating by default in many cases because you don't mean to create things that you don't want. When we began talking to you a few years back, we said to you, you are the creator of your experience. Seth coined those words most precisely first. You are the creator of your own reality. And many of you said, oh good, at first. And then you say, what does that mean? It's a question that Jerry asked endlessly. If we create our own reality, how is it so? And we say, you create it by conjuring a vibration which equals your point of attraction, and then things that match the way you feel keep showing up in your experience. And Esther would say, but Abraham, how is it? What's fair about it? That I'm just looking out into the world, innocent being that I am, seeing something unwanted. Are you telling me that I am perpetuating unwanted things by my mere awareness of them? Yes. By your mere awareness of them / practiced vibration of them, because you can't be aware of something without activating the vibration within you. And if you keep it up, you can get that vibration going well enough and strong enough that things will begin to fill in around it. That's the grid filling in. In other words, once you conjure enough thought that you activate an emotion around it, you've got a really good point of attraction going on. And so things wanted and unwanted will come as evidence. It's interesting to watch you because even though you don't want them, it's like going to a buffet. Really, it is like this. Seeing something that you think you probably won't like and asking a perfect stranger who's in line ahead of you, that doesn't look good. Have you ever had that? Yeah, I tried it and it's terrible, he says. Oh, give me some of that, please. And the person behind the counter says, yeah, I'm surprised we have this in the line. Nobody really likes it once they get it. And you say, I know, but I feel compelled. I don't know what's coming over me, but I just feel that I must have this thing that I know very high probability I won't like it when I eat it. And then you put it on your tray, you go to your table, and you take a bite. They're right. It is awful. But I feel I should eat it, because after all, it's true. I should eat this thing I do not like. And I'm going back for more tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. And I will warn every single person who stands in line next to me that they want this not. Until it will become the most popular item on the menu. They'll make movies about it. They'll write books about it. It will become such an inherent part of the culture in which I live that this generation at least will accept it as reality. And we say, really? Really? When there are so many things that you might give your attention to, that in the giving the attention to it, you would be thrilled. And as the grid fills in with the details that represent it, you would be even more thrilled. Because you create your own reality, you see. And a lot of you say, I didn't create that, I'm just looking at it. I'm just observing it. And we say, that's how you create your own reality. You observe it. You think about it, you ponder it, you talk about it, you fuss and worry about it, you join online chat groups about it, you read blogs about it, and then the universe knocks itself out to make you an expert about it. Because that's the way law of attraction works, you see. You create your own reality. How's it going? Pretty good for most of you. Most of you have a handle on this. We just come in response to your never-ending questions. And we so enjoy this leading edge group who is willing to come and chew with us. You know, you come to this hot seat and you present yourself vibrationally and verbally. And all that is expands as a result. of the conversation that you start, that we co-create together. And without you and your participation, of course you can't not participate, because life causes that, doesn't it? Life causes you to mix it up and to give birth.